19 highly effective ways to stay motivated. Everyone is motivated by different things. Understanding what motivates you can make the difference between success and failure. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe and ring the bell for more videos. In today's competitive work environment, our greatest untapped resource may be our own motivation. But what happens when you can't find your motivation, or you can't stay motivated long enough to finish a project or even keep up with daily tasks? You need to find your motivation, but where? You find it within, because all motivation is self-motivation. What drives us to stay motivated is as individual as who we are, so you need to tailor a motivational that will resonate with you. The more you know and understand yourself, the more effective your efforts will be. Here are 19 simple strategies you can try. 1. Understand your why. Sometimes it's not so much the what or the how that matters, but your why, the purpose behind what you're doing. Being clear about what you're working for can give you the stimulus to stay on course. 2. Define your goal. Define goals, put your ideas into action mode. It's the vital step between planning and doing. 3. Create a clear vision. If you want to succeed, you must create a clear, compelling vision, something that you can relate to and resonate with. If it doesn't speak to your heart, it won't motivate you to stay on target. Create the highest, grandest vision possible, because you can achieve only what you see. 4. Produce a plan. Once you have a goal in place, a plan will take your vision and break down the steps you need to get it done. A goal without a plan, as we know, is just a dream. 5. Look for the bigger picture. When you have to stay motivated, think of the bigger picture. How does this relate not only to yourself but to others? How will it contribute to something important? Where will this make a difference? To accomplish more, think bigger. 6. Keep it positive. Positive thoughts lead to positive actions, and self-affirming statements will help you to achieve your best. Take control of how you think, how you feel, how you act. Positivity will help you make the choices that lead to accomplishment. 7. Approach tasks in new ways. Sometimes just getting started might be the problem. A different approach might give you a new perspective and more energy. 8. Break goals into manageable tasks. One important key to your success will be your ability to break down your goals into shorter-term and smaller single tasks. Keep things manageable. 9. Get organized. Make sure your workplace is uncluttered, so your mind can be organized. A calm environment gives you a better chance of being more efficient and productive. 10. Tackle procrastination head-on. Don't make excuses or waste time rationalizing why you haven't already started. Instead, try to uncover the real reason for the delay and get to work immediately. The best way to begin something is just to begin. 11. Seize the power of deadlines. Setting a time limit for an activity will enable you to assemble your resources and materials toward accomplishing things you might not otherwise get done. 12. Stop multitasking. Don't divide your attention, but give your full and undivided self to the task at hand. When you do, your chances for success go way up. 13. Starve your distractions. Do what you need to do to stop being distracted by people, tasks, or electronics. Devise strategies to help you start and complete tasks without any distractions or interruptions. 14. Stay in the zone. Your best and most productive work is usually done when you're in the zone. Ask yourself how to create the perfect environment for you to do your best work and keep at it until you're done. 15. Choose success. Choose to be successful, then stick to your choice and see it through to a conclusion. By creating a mental picture of yourself successfully completing a job, you can increase your chances of success. 16. Keep it fun. If you seriously want to stay motivated, find a way to make it fun. Fun is not the enemy, but a great motivator. 17. Harness the power of optimism. Belief that you can accomplish something is essential to your ability to do it. Optimism is the foundation of progress. 18. Reward yourself. Learn what it takes to get yourself to complete dreaded tasks and set up a system of rewards for completion. 19. Visualize yourself succeeding. Visualization is a powerful technique that can help you to focus, stay motivated, and achieve your goals. By creating a mental picture of yourself successfully completing a job, even the worst tasks can feel like part of achieving something big. Remember, motivation starts within. Find it, keep it, and make it work for you. Motivation is what drives us to make the things happen, but staying motivated isn't always easy. Get some tips on how to become and stay motivated and suggestions for what to do if you just can't get into gear. Positive and negative motivation. Motivation is what drives you towards a goal, gets you up in the morning, and keeps you working through a task, determined to succeed when things get tough. But motivation can be both positive and negative. Positive motivations focus on the positive things that will happen when you take action. For example, finishing this assignment means I'm only a step away from being qualified. Negative motivations focus on the negative backlash that will occur if you don't take action. For example, if I don't finish this assignment in the next few hours, I'll fail my course. Negative and positive motivations can both be effective in different circumstances. However, it's much easier to do something because you actually want to, rather than because you want to avoid a particular outcome if you don't do it. If you don't have a positive plan of action, using negative motivation can make you feel helpless and may even reduce your motivation. How to become and stay motivated. Set goals. When you set a goal, you make a decision to act in a way that will help you achieve what you want. Goals give you a direction to focus on, one that's measurable and has an endpoint. This can help you to stay motivated. Choose goals that interest you. You're much more likely to stay motivated if you're working towards something that you genuinely want to do or achieve, rather than what other people want for you. Find things that interest you within goals that don't. Sometimes other people set goals or tasks for us that we don't find interesting or want to do. So, try and find something within that task that does motivate you. For example, I find maths challenging, but it's going to help me become a builder, which I want more than anything. Make your goal public. If you tell someone, or write down, your goal, you've essentially made a promise to keep your word. Plot your progress. When you're working towards something, it can be really motivating if you can see evidence that you're making progress. Draw or create a visual representation of how you're coming closer to achieving the goal you set yourself. Break up your goal. Start with easier tasks and work your way up to bigger challenges. Breaking up a task in your mind into achievable chunks helps build confidence. Use rewards. Promise yourself some sort of reward each time you complete a stepped task. Don't do it alone. Join a class or find a teacher or someone you can share the experience with. Other people's encouragement to keep going can be a big boost to your motivation, particularly when you're doing it tough. If you're really finding it hard, if you've tried, but failed to get motivated, then it might help to talk it through with someone you trust. Sometimes it can be hard to achieve things on your own, so having a good support network may help when you've taken on a big challenge. You could also try talking to a counselor, who can help you to work out which motivating strategies will work best for you. Motivation, the scientific guide on how to get and stay motivated. Motivation is a powerful yet tricky beast. Sometimes it is really easy to get motivated, and you find yourself wrapped up in a whirlwind of excitement. Other times, it is nearly impossible to figure out how to motivate yourself, and you're trapped in a death spiral of procrastination. This page contains the best ideas and most useful research on how to get and stay motivated. This isn't going to be some rah-rah, pumped-up motivational speech. That's not my style. Instead, we're going to break down the science behind how to get motivated in the first place and how to stay motivated for the long run. Whether you're trying to figure out how to motivate yourself or how to motivate a team, this page should cover everything you need to know. You can click the links below to jump to a particular section or simply scroll down to read everything. At the end of this page, you'll find a complete list of all the articles I have written on motivation. Motivation, what it is, and how it works. What is motivation? Common misconceptions about motivation. How to get motivated and take action. Schedule your motivation. How to get motivated even when you don't feel like it. How to make motivation a habit. How to stay motivated for the long run. How to stay motivated by using the Goldilocks rule. How to reach peak motivation. What to do when motivation fades. Motivation, what it is, and how it works. Scientists define motivation as your general willingness to do something. It is the set of psychological forces that compel you to take action. That's nice and all, but I think we can come up with a more useful definition of motivation. What is motivation? So what is motivation, exactly? The author Steven Pressfield has a great line in his book, The War of Art, which I think gets at the core of motivation. To paraphrase Pressfield, at some point, the pain of not doing it becomes greater than the pain of doing it. In other words, at some point, it is easier to change than to stay the same. It is easier to take action and feel insecure at the gym than to sit still and experience self-loathing on the couch. It is easier to feel awkward while making the sales call than to feel disappointed about your dwindling bank account. This, I think, is the essence of motivation. Every choice has a price, but when we are motivated, it is easier to bear the inconvenience of action than the pain of remaining the same. Somehow we cross a mental threshold, usually after weeks of procrastination and in the face of an impending deadline, and it becomes more painful to not do the work than to actually do it. Now for the important question, what can we do to make it more likely that we cross this mental threshold and feel motivated on a consistent basis? Common misconceptions about motivation. One of the most surprising things about motivation is that it often comes after starting a new behavior, not before. We have this common misconception that motivation arrives as a result of passively consuming a motivational video or reading an inspirational book. However, active inspiration can be a far more powerful motivator. Motivation is often the result of action, not the cause of it. Getting started, even in very small ways, is a form of active inspiration that naturally produces momentum. I like to refer to this effect as the physics of productivity because this is basically Newton's first law applied to habit formation. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Once a task has begun, it is easier to continue moving it forward. You don't need much motivation once you started a behavior. Nearly all of the friction in a task is at the beginning. After you start, progress occurs more naturally. In other words, it is often easier to finish a task than it was to start it in the first place. Thus, one of the keys to getting motivated is to make it easy to start. Before we talk about how to get started, let's pause for just a second. If you're enjoying this article on motivation, then you'll probably find my other writing on performance and human behavior useful. Each week, I share self-improvement tips based on proven scientific research through my free email newsletter. To join now, click here. How to get motivated and take action. Many people struggle to find the motivation they need to achieve the goals they want because they are wasting too much time and energy on other parts of the process. If you want to make it easy to find motivation and get started, then it helps to automate the early stages of your behavior. Schedule your motivation. During a conversation about writing, my friend Sarah Peck looked at me and said, "A lot of people never get around to writing because they are always wondering when they are going to write next." You could say the same thing about working out, starting a business, creating art, and building most habits. If your workout doesn't have a time when it usually occurs, then each day you'll wake up thinking, "I hope I feel motivated to exercise today." If your business doesn't have a system for marketing, then you'll show up at work crossing your fingers that you'll find a way to get the word out, in addition to everything else you have to do. If you don't have a scheduled time, when you write every week, then you'll find yourself saying things like, "I just need to find the willpower to do it." An article in The Guardian summarized the situation by saying, "If you waste resources trying to decide when or where to work, you'll impede your capacity to do the work." Setting a schedule for yourself seems simple, but it puts your decision-making on autopilot by giving your goals a time and a place to live. It makes it more likely that you will follow through regardless of your motivation levels. And there are plenty of research studies on willpower and motivation to back up that statement. Stop waiting for motivation or inspiration to strike you and set a schedule for your habits. This is the difference between professionals and amateurs. Professionals set a schedule and stick to it. Amateurs wait until they feel inspired or motivated.